New week, new pod. What up, man? The Tino Cochino Radio podcast in full effect. If you're not already, Instagram, TikTok, at Tino Cochino Radio. Be sure to tap in there, say what up. Special guest on the show today, man. He's a friend of the show. He's family, dude. We've been knowing him for years. Donnell Rawlings. He's got a new special on Netflix. It is called A New Day. And that is what today is, a new day, new podcast. So it just kind of, it all makes sense, man. Donnell's a good friend, and I'm so excited to talk to him about everything he's got going on. But I want to kick things off kind of personal. Off the air, we were having this conversation about a friend of ours that is a playboy. You know, he talks to a lot of different women. He doesn't really settle down. He's early 50s. It's okay to say, right?
Yeah. Is he early 50s?
Yes.
Or almost 60.
Okay. Matt's making up stuff. So anyway, you know, he's been married, he's had kids, he's done all that, and now he's at a point where he hasn't settled down. So it turned into this whole thing about basically why commit. And Nicasio said when you commit, you feel it's over.
It's over.
Like what? Just life?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Tino.
All right.
This is Tino, and I just got married.
Yeah.
And Matt's married, and Serena's married. And so I went on this little rant in the studio, speaking my mind. And this sounds very simpy, but at the end of the day, I truly do believe that everybody does want companionship. And for me, maybe it's different because I didn't want just companionship like a lover. I've also wanted family companionship. I've wanted a best friend companionship. I've wanted a ton of different things that I haven't had my whole life. So when I met, or once I actually not met, but once I started to really build this relationship with my wife now, Chelsea, we both had a similar childhood and share these core values, and so it brought this connection that I've never had and never experienced. And I was like, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to grow this, or I want to grow with this person. This is I want to build a life with her.
You wanted to lock it down.
1,000%, and I did. And so as I'm having this conversation, Serena said it sparked a question.
Yes, it was something you said, and it's more about children. But because I feel like, I've been here for 4 years, and you're like, no, I don't want kids, or like there was times you're like, I don't know, maybe. So you said like right now you don't want kids, but you've mentioned that if she ever changes her mind, then you'd be okay with it. So do you think that you would ever kind of long for kids, or you're not sure if you want kids?
I'm just not sure. I mean, we both have to talk, and we both like, we don't want them because at the end of the day, we're selfish. And I want to be able to, like how we got married. It was a conversation. It was just supposed to be a quick dinner out of town. And we're like, well, let's just get married. And we did.
Yeah.
And I feel like spontaneous, like the other night, we went to this concert last minute, and we're like, oh, we're going to do something before the concert. And Serena's like, to not have kids, you can do that. It's like, I want to be able to live the way I want to live and not have to have that responsibility. I've never felt the urge, like Matt has told me before, he feels he was meant to be a father.
When I was a kid, I was like, I can't wait to have kids of my own.
I've never had that urge. Now, I love Chelsea so much that if she was to come at me and have a real conversation like, I want to make life with you, I would be honored.
Well,
and
I was going to
do
say,
that because I love her so much, but it's not something I'm pushing for, and it's not something she's pushing for, so I don't know if it'll ever happen.
you had mentioned how you didn't you mentioned the stuff you didn't have. So I was curious to why you wouldn't go seek a girl that has the family core values and that wants kids, because it's something you never had. So it's
because I never liked it. It was so foreign to me when I would go to, when I would go to a family's house, like an ex's house with their family, and they would all hug and laughter. Yeah. I was like, this is fake. I'm like,
nobody loves each other.
I really felt that. I truly felt that. I was like, no one will ever understand that, and no partner I had ever did until I met her. She's like, I get it. I felt that before. And so it's like, I don't feel the urge to be like, I'm going to have a kid and give it everything I didn't have. I'm like, no, I want someone that understands my beliefs, and let's create a life together.
So I know this other couple who they don't want kids either. And she tells me that they revisit the question, though, every year just to make sure they're on the same page.
I get that.
I like that, because sometimes people change their mind.
Yeah.
I just told Chelsea, I was like, look, I should just get a vasectomy, and let's just be done with it. And she was like, well, I don't know who I'll be in 5 years. What if I change my mind?
Hey.
And I'm like,
but I feel like that's something you can't sway, right? Like, you got to know from the beginning that you kind of want to have kids. Like, that's a big thing.
Not necessarily.
I don't
People change.
think so. Yeah, I feel like I feel like you cannot want kids at one point, but if you're in the right situation, you're with the right person, and you have stability, I feel like that can change your mind.
If they change and you don't, is there a problem?
yeah. But that's everyone. That could happen to anyone in this room.
That's where it comes down to communication.
I saw a thing kind of similar to what Serena said, that where their couples check in with each other. They do like an annual check-in. Like, how are we feeling? How's the relationship? What am I lacking in? What could I do better in? This is what I need more from you. Do you still want this? Do you still want that? I think that's important, because if not, you just kind of stay stuck in your comfortable ways and you don't grow. And I think the whole point of being here is to grow.
Nicasso, you have those kind of meetings and talks with your
hell
girlfriend?
No, we just live life day by day, and then if shit falls apart, then it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit there and try to
work on it.
I'm not gonna sit there and force her to love me. If she don't love me, it is what it is.
But no one said anything about forcing anyone to love you. It's
I know, but I just feel like if someone falls out of love with you, you can't sit there and try to work on it because they already made their decision.
No one's mentioned
But
falling
if you
out of
were
love.
working on it, then it would have never got to that point.
Probably. So Matt, you guys are working on it right now.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like, up in the air, or did you guys fix it, or?
I mean, it's a work in progress, but that's what marriage is. It's a work in progress.
That's the thing.
And then you die.
The commitment. The commitment. I think it's the same thing as a job, low key. Like, you get a job, not every day is amazing. Some days you cannot stand your job. There's going to be some days I know that Chelsea 1,000% is so fed up with me.
Yeah.
She's going to be pissed off. And there'll be days that it's going to be like that for me. But that's the whole point of marriage, and why I wanted to commit to her, because I'm like, look, I don't care, no matter what the good, no matter what the bad. I don't see my life without you,
thick and thin,
because of how you make me feel, and I want this forever, no matter what bad comes with it. A bad day with you is going to be better than any good day with anyone else.
Oh, bam, drop the mic.
Nice.
Oh, that's good. What were you gonna say, Matt? You're over here pointing your finger like an idiot.
I was going to say, just like a job, there is no finish line. You always have to, it's always what's next. Same with the marriage. There's no finish line. Like, we made it. You're constantly working on it.
I feel like a job and marriage, that was terrible, because you could leave a job if you're not happy. You shouldn't leave if, like, on the first, sign of distress in your relationship.
Agreed. Well, that's the thing. That's a trauma trigger. That's something you have to work on. It's something I've had to work on. I even now, something will happen. Like, we'll have a disagreement, and I'll tell Chelsea, I'm like, well, you're going to leave me now. This is it, huh? She's like, whoa. She's like, I'm not going to leave. Like,
that's just your
we're
insecurities.
Good. Like, you got to work on that. And I'm like, you're right. But, I love your opinion on any and everything we've been talking about, man. Again, TikTok, Instagram, at Tino Cochino Radio. Told you guys we have a special guest hanging out with us today, man. Family, Donnell Rawlings. And can we applaud the fact that he's very punctual today?
I don't play. I got to break these stereotypes, son. I know y'all had a stopwatch right there watching. He'll call it 10:05. Not today. It's a new day. It's a new dawn.
How are you, bro? Been a minute.
I know it's been a minute. A lot of things have changed in life.
I feel you. A lot has changed since I last saw you, too.
I feel you. I was like, anyway. Oh, it's a new day. How's everybody doing?
All is good, bro. I actually wanted to bring you into this conversation that we were having and just get your thoughts. So basically, if you're hooking up with somebody, right, but there's no title at all, no title, you're just hooking up, and you find out they start talking to somebody else, do you have a right to be mad or no because there's no title?
No, you got a right to be mad, but at the same time, you was probably doing the same thing. You just mad that the person beat you to it. That's all that is.
That is a good point. Yeah, that is a good point.
No, we can say titles. We can say titles all we want, but it's not just a title. It's how you make that person feel. So you go like, well, we didn't commit to this. We didn't say that, but you know what you're doing. When your phone starts blowing up, you stop getting those weird calls at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know that you're in a relationship. So we only use those titles as BS.
What part of the world are you checking in from today?
I'm in California right now.
Oh, nice.
Have you been? It seems like you've been nonstop, like with shows and everything. Has it been like every weekend?
Yeah, it's been every weekend. I've always had that type of schedule as far as performance, but me trying to get everybody to watch this special, it's been very, very, very overwhelming. But it's one of the things that you commit to, and then you get the rewards of it later on. So, you got to, go hard or go home, and I decided to go hard.
Hell yeah. A New Day is out now on Netflix. You got to stream this thing. Bro, how long, like for you when it comes to like specifically this, because you know it's going to be a special, how long do you work on this content?
Well, it's most part, usually when people are doing a special, they'll probably tour the material for like a year. Like a year to 6 months with me, because I'm on the road so much and I'm going back to these places that I usually flip my set like every 6 months, where it's like a whole different 45 minutes. And the case with this special, because I had shot one 2 years ago that Dave wasn't really happy about for reasons beyond me. But I think that, his suggestions on doing it again worked out, because I think from the time that I first did it to this time I evolved as a comic. I evolved with the way I dress, my mindset, and then making the special specific to me and not just like topical jokes. But I don't think there's no rule to it, but for the most part, you look at the way Rock and like Dave do their specials, they usually tour a set probably like, I would say anywhere from 6 months to a year, and then they go out there and put it down, and hopefully the world receives it the way they wanted it to be.
You and Dave are super, super, super close. Is it sometimes hard to take criticism though from him, because obviously like you're going to do things the way you do it and Dave's going to do things the way he does it, so sometimes like is there maybe something you really stand on and that he just doesn't get, and it's like, damn it, like why can't you see it the way I'm trying to get it? You know what I mean?
No, not necessarily, because we've been knowing each other so long that we kind of know how we roll. Even when I did this, he said, Donnell, you work on the jokes and I just work on the bells and whistles. To which, if you watch the special, the intro, that had nothing to do with that. I was kind of stuck on how I wanted to introduce the special. I didn't want to just do like jokey. I wanted something different, but I didn't know what it was. And he came up with the idea of like showcasing myself, me waking up in the morning, me taking a look at my son before I go do what daddy likes to do, and that's rip the stage. But we, it's not like our friendship goes 30 years, so we trust each other the same way when we were doing the show. He trusted my comedy sensibility to be able to come up with the funniest stuff. So we don't buck heads on that. Even when he decided that he wanted to shoot the special over, it was some concerns of mine, because if you tell a comic you want to shoot a special over, usually that's kind of insulting, because the first thing you think is, was it not funny enough? And he said it wasn't that, because I got a standing O. When I did it the first time, he said, Donnell, you're one of the funniest comedians I know. I could put you in front of any room, any crowd, and you'll rip it. But he said it doesn't make it a great special. And he said because under the umbrella of Chappelle's home team, when you include Nail, you include Earthquake, and I'm not taking it away from them. They all like seasoned comics. But he said yours is one of the most anticipated just because of our connection, working on the Chappelle show.
Yep.
So he was like, if we're going to do it, let's do something that's classic. It was hard for me to take that, but at the end of the day, I had already got paid for it. I was like, well, I'm already paid with it, so you should talk all you want to talk. But,
I got my money. I'm good.
I was like, you rich bitch. I'm trying to get richer, bitch.
How's life in Yellow Springs, man? I know you got a crib out there and everything now.
It's cool. It's peace. You know what I'm saying? It's like I love to retreat there. I travel so much, and my life is already chaotic. So when I get the time just to, look in the backyard and see deers, which black people are not used to seeing wildlife.
Oh my God.
we see a deer, we talk to it like we acting like it's a pit bull. Like, here, Bambi. Here, Bambi. But it's a place where I go to decompress and just get my thoughts together. I'm loving it. Again, like one of my neighbors said, the best thing about living in Yellow Springs is if you can afford to travel. I don't know how excited I would be there every day, like every day of the week. But, the short period of times that I get to spend time here and mix it up with the road, it's a good thing.
I was dying, bro, on the Breakfast Club interview when you started going to Envy telling him he's not selling houses with Big Pun no more. You're like, that ain't happening no more.
God.
That's done.
Nah, that's class. They keep on coming at me, and I keep coming to them. So may the best man win.
Hey,
I love it.
When we get a celebrity boxing match with you and Corey Holcomb?
God damn it, Nicasio.
We're not gonna have that. I'm gonna tell you, that was one of those. As I look at it, it was unfortunate, but fortunate at the same time. A lot of questions. People say, "Well, you shouldn't have yelled out at him when he was on stage." And you know what? That it might be some truth to that, but I know I had some feelings toward how he moves in this business. Like I told people a lot of times in comedy now, people are more interested in selling controversy than jokes.
Yep.
I was a fan of Corey Holcomb before this happened. I was like, for somebody like doing dark comedy is a very, 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 very sensitive situation, and you got to be very, very skilled to be able to take an audience from wanting to walk out and kill you to like maybe one joke a minute down the line. They're like, oh my God, this guy's funny as hell. Everybody knows the relationship I have with Dave. And like he's been saying a lot of insulting things about Dave, his openers and everything. And I'm one of those guys. So, and I don't look at Dave as just like a coworker. He's one of my closest friends. And I think anybody in the room can contest to that. If you got a problem with like somebody that's super close to you like that, then you got a problem with both of us. Should I have yelled out and told them how I feel about certain things? Maybe not. But at the same time, I know my phone was blowing up, and particularly from the comedy community, like, enough is enough. You know, certain people have different stuff. I don't like, and even in that incident, I called him a provocateur. You know, a lot of times with people with these podcasts or just social media, you know, something positive you could say, but that's not good enough. A lot of people want to dwell on being negative because at the end of the day, that moves the dial. That's what people click on. I would like to say this incident is behind me. I got too many other things to focus on. Has it been kind of disturbing to me? Yeah. I don't like the negative vibe. People have been coming at me, and I can handle that. And one of my biggest issues with him was, if you got a situation with me, man to man, we can talk about it or whatever. But to bring my family and people close to me into your conversation, you know, I had a big issue with that, and I'll continue to have a big issue with that. But I wish him the most in life, and I'm going to keep going and do my thing.
Well, I feel like that was like, excuse me, that was why I was for you standing up and saying what you said, because you're right. It wasn't just you. Now, I mean, if you're going to bring family and start doing things like that into it, you have every right to not only defend you and your friendship with Dave, but to defend your family. So I feel like, too, in a world where everybody, like you said, is just going for clickbait and trying to go for the negative, sometimes, you know, you got to deal with the repercussions. And a lot of times people they aren't prepared for that. And so I respect you for saying something.
Even when I yelled out, I was prepared for that. You know, there's an unwritten rule. Comedians, you're not supposed to heckle other comedians. But a lot of people say I heckled. It wasn't a heckle. He made a comment that he's been pushing on this platform forever, that the only way you get a certain amount of success in Hollywood, in this business, is you got to do sexual favors and you got to sell your soul. And I think that's a discredit to everybody that's worked hard to build their name. You're discrediting God. You're discrediting hard work. You're discrediting. You're discrediting having just work ethics. You know, and it's just like you try to bully these people. And a lot of these comics out here, they try to slight Kevin Hart. They try to slight Dave, or these people not funny, or whatever. But it must be something that they're doing right to get to the point where they are. And then when you look at that, a lot of it is bitterness. And you ask yourself, okay, this person's successful. I could listen or follow a blueprint, or I could do it my way. If you want to do it your way, being angry at everybody and thinking everybody is at fault because of your success, then you deal with that. But I know I take offense in that conversation because I know I've been working 30-some years, never sold my soul, never wore a dress, never done any of that. And the success that I've been getting is because of hard work. I've been told no so many times. I've been told we don't like you so many times. And I've seen people that are less talented, they get opportunities. I don't hold that against them or anything. I just know that in due time, I'll get mine. And New Day, after 30-some years, I had a special on Comedy Central some time ago. It was a good special, like 11 years ago. But now I was able to work my butt off to get to the point where the biggest platform for stand-up comedy acknowledged me. Some people can say, well, Dave threw you a bone. And what people don't know, Dave was slotted to produce my special, but he was dragging his feet on getting it together, and Comedy Central was willing and ready to give me a deal without the attachment to Dave Chappelle. They said, we want to work with you whether Dave Chappelle supports it or not. But on the business side of it, I knew that I wouldn't get the best deal just trying to negotiate my own and come in with my friend that's established himself there. It'll give me more leverage to get bigger money, and that's what I did.
1,000%.
Is not gonna. People think, oh, somebody looked out for you. First off, Dave ain't gonna mess with nobody that's not funny. The people that he chose for these specials, all of them had 30 years of experience, and for some reason the industry was overlooking them. And he said that he was going to take it in his own hands and do it himself. If y'all believe it or not, I'm going to do it under the umbrella of the home team. And I'm one of those people. For people that say, well, if it wasn't for Chappelle's show, Donnell wouldn't be so-and-so. But guess what? If it wasn't for the contributions from Charlie Murphy, if it wasn't contributions from one of the writers, Brian Tucker, if it wasn't contributions from Neil Brennan, if it wasn't contributions of any of these people that I discussed, the Chappelle show wouldn't have been Chappelle's show. So it's like this. You know, it's one hand washes the other. And what's wrong with if you have a friend of yours for years, and this is what I believe, if you're in a position to throw somebody a bone and you know they're qualified, what's wrong with looking out for those people that are qualified and they could make you look good?
I've always agreed, bro. If you have, this could go to anyone in the general public. If you have a friend that works at the cable company or at the light company or whatever, and they can get you a discount on your bill, you're not going to call and be like, yo, man, can I get the discount this month? You're going to do whatever you can because that's your friend and that's the opportunity that they can provide to you. And if Dave is your friend, why would he not want to look out for you? And why would you not want that? It makes no sense for people to talk down on it.
But the people that talk like that don't have real friends. They don't have loyal friends. I'm loyal. You know what I'm saying? Like even with like this situation, the thing that was most offensive to me was, trying to give the impression that I, after 30 years, is not a guy to go up there and eat a stage up every night for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm not. And it's been some talk, you're a mild comedian. All right, I answer this question. You know what? I'm an older guy right now. At some point, back in my life, I used to like hot sauce. You know what my favorite sauce is now? Mild sauce. I don't have to worry about indigestion. I don't have to worry about heartburn or anything. And the thing that it came out of that whole controversy with Corey, whatever, he gave me an idea for a tour, the black and mild sauce. Some people want their black, but they don't want it super hot. If I can get to a point where everybody can have fun watching my show. Some people, when they perform, they only want one group of people. You've been to my show. You cannot say my show is black, white, or anything. My show is for everybody. It's old, it's young, it's Asian, it's black, it's Latino, whatever. And if that's the case, sometimes you might have to tone your stuff down just a little, so you can reach everybody. That's what I'm going for. I don't want just the black community. I want the world to watch me. And for someone that want to talk trash about me, like last week, they're like, Donnell, you got to squash this thing with Corey. There's two things that's going on. I'm promoting a special that's going to be released to 120 countries. And on the other end, it's somebody that's trying to get subscribers on YouTube. I'm not trying to knock that, but this is apples and oranges that we're dealing with.
Listen, man, A New Day is streaming on Netflix now. Go run them numbers up, man.
Yep. And don't forget, I got Donnell Land coming back again Memorial Day weekend. I know you guys are in the be excited. It's going to be the 4th year. It's a weekend full of fun for everybody in the family, and I'm really going to turn a corner on this and make this something big where I can go nationally and do it in different countries and different cities.
I've never stayed. I've been twice, but I've never stayed for the actual kayaking, and that is my plan this time.
That's
I want to take
crazy.
the full experience.
Oh, yeah, you're so disrespectful. I'm like, where you going? I got to go back. He said, I got to go back to work. I'm like, ain't you the boss? Yo, you better keep your ass here.
Bro, as always, thank you for the time, man. We'll keep shouting out the special, and let's touch base sooner than later, man.
My man, take care. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, listen, we are done with this week's episode, but thank you guys for hanging out. If you need some more, man, obviously TikTok, Instagram, at Tino Cochino Radio. Go there, man. The page is blowing up so damn much, and I greatly appreciate it. We're hitting between 1.5 and 2 million different pages like a week, and it's growing, man. It's a beautiful thing. So we appreciate you for checking it out. If you haven't yet, go do it. Again, at Tino Cochino Radio. That's TikTok, Instagram. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast page so you get the daily show recaps, and check out the Mental Health Podcast. Is Anyone Listening as well. Bueno. Bye.